Good morning, everyone. It's Patty at Cabin Fever Soaps and Essentials, and this is part 2 of making liquid soap. I have my distilled water almost to boiling. I try to keep it just under it. It doesn't matter, it's just me. And I have 2 ounces of glycerin, 60 ounces of the distilled water, and let me put this up and take a look at the soap. It still is very fluid, but it is finished. It looks like Vaseline, and it is really clear. If you get a good picture of that. And so we're going to dilute it. And all I do is take the glycerin to give it extra moisture in the bit. I super fat at 4% when I make this liquid soap. I know a lot of people that do it at 0 and then they neutralize it. I don't even go through that. I haven't had any problems with separation, and so you just stick with the things that work. So, in diluting, I don't want to try to make bubbles, so I just kind of add it in there just a little bit. Now I started at 60 ounces because I know this is about a 4-pound batch of soap paste, and I'd rather start at 60 and then add a little bit at a time if I need it to get it to dissolve. And then I usually go about 2-3 ounces at a time because it won't take that much. Oh, I know I'm so unconventional. I have made larger batches than these without the herbs, and what I do is I would cook it in the oven at 200 degrees and then work with it on top of the stove for diluting. But with this small batch here, it's big enough for the crock pot. So then I just kind of break up the soap paste, try not to make any bubbles, and I turned it down on low, or I should say warm. I think I'm going to turn it on low, and I'll be right here in the kitchen throughout the day. Sometimes it takes 8 hours, sometimes a little bit longer, and I just let it set overnight, turn it off, and then restart it in the morning. I don't know. Liquid soap doesn't give me a problem. It's just time consuming. And when people buy it, maybe they will understand what took place to just making a bottle of liquid soap. So anyways, I don't think there's anything else that I can talk about. We'll just keep bringing you back and watching the process. So I hope everybody has a good morning and already drank a cup of coffee, and wishing that their day is going to be a very blessed one. Alright, I'll talk to you later. Okay, we're back. It's going to take a while, maybe 24 to 36 hours for the complete dilution. And I don't want to tie up my kitchen for that time. So what I'm going to do is show you, this is soap that I made 6 months ago. It is the same formula, 90% olive oil, 10% castor, and the glycerin and distilled water for dilution, and I use the double lies. And I'm going to show you the thickness after complete dilution, but it is very, very thick. If I can get this going here. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I broke the thing. But anyways, let me pause you for a minute, and then we'll pump some of that soap in there. But you can see that it's like a gel stage. I leave it like this if I'm going to use essential oils or a fragrance in it. Many of the essential oils and fragrances will thin the liquid soap out. And then who wants runny soap? Well, I don't. So the nice thing about using the double lies is that it gives it that thickness, and it is completely diluted. When I use the essential oils or the fragrances and it becomes watery, what I do is I warm up the soap, and then I added, it's a 20% brine salt water, and this is made out of distilled water. And what I do is I just put a couple of drops in, and I just keep stirring until I get the consistency that I want. If I'm using it for hand soap or using it in the shower, I want a thicker soap, not a runny one. So let me pause you and I'll get this filled up, and you can see without the added fragrances or essential oils, the thickness of it, and it will turn out the same as this. Okay, I brought you back. My little tube fell down in there, and I just don't want to mess with it right now, so I'm just going to pour it in this jar, and you'll be able to see the viscosity of it. See how thick it is? And it's still pretty cold in the house. In the summertime it runs a little bit better. Let's see. And with it being cold, it looks like it's a little cloudy, but in the warmer months it will lighten up. Oops, got too much. So, can you see that? And it stays that way. There isn't any separation whatsoever. And I don't know too much about, I made so much liquid soap in small batches, just testing after testing for years. And the last couple of years, this is the one, thanks to all the input on a liquid soap group that I belong to. They were in the testing too, so I started back then, and I'm going to stick with it. I love the feel of a mild natural soap, and so I stay with a high volume of olive oil. I don't use pumice. It's anyone's preference, but I use the extra virgin olive oil because it's the first press. And when you use pumice, they have to add certain chemicals to it to completely press out the oil. So I have no problem with it. I know some say that they do. I guess just starting out with what you know and what you started working with. So through all the process and that, this is what I had come up with. Like I said, it's because it's still cold here that it's a little cloudy, but it does become crystal clear once it isn't so cool in the environment, do if it's in the soap room or what. So I hope that answers some questions. If you would like to know a little bit more, I just kind of broke it down into places that anyone watching and wanted to know how I made liquid soap. This is that type of video. It's not one to show you step by step, but maybe to understand a little bit more. If you have any questions, just leave a comment and I will try to answer the best that I can. Well, I think this is done for the second video, and I hope that you enjoy it. If you like seeing the videos, please like us and subscribe, and we will definitely be doing more, maybe more experiments or whatever. If you'd like to see a certain soap made, just leave me a message. Alright, y'all have a nice day, and I will see you in the next round of making another video. Bye-bye.